Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? This is Eric here for Faster Humans. So we are looking forward to jump into this live. Like I said, we're gonna change it up from 12 to 1 o'clock. So we're gonna have Cristina Molinaro joining us for this live Q&A. Also an awesome way to be able to kind of sort of connect on the process, loving the process. And so we're just waiting for her to join us. And so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask questions. Once again, this is going to be available on the podcast, once I finish this live broadcast. So for anyone who is new to intermittent fasting, hey, Bossy Queen, what's going on? How you doing today? Thank you for joining us on the live broadcast here, Faster Human. So waiting for this young lady. How you doing today? So all right. So we have Cristina Molinaro live broadcast, and looking forward to go ahead and jump in. Waiting for Cristina. Hi, Cristina. How you
Hello,
doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
How you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live broadcast. Very excited about this. I know that you're starting in October, somewhere in October, you started this journey of getting yourself back into health. And one of the beauties about me kind of sort of jumping in and say, hey, let me get this person to ask what's going on through your mindset. What is the mindset in regards of jumping into this whole process and changing your lifestyle and getting healthy and stuff like that? Because I know, it's awesome to share that before and after, because I always talk about the before and after. I share my own before and after, but there's something in between that before and after that happens that I think most of us would try to share the most out of it. And I think you kind of sort of like went in, kind of say, listen, guys, I'm not perfect, but I'm just kind of sort of jumping into this whole journey. So introduce yourself for the audience and, where you're from, and tell us a little about what is going on.
Okay. Well, thanks first of all for having me on here. It's a little bit scary because it's my first time, so I'm just jumping out of my comfort zone, and that's my motto for this year going into 2021. I'm from Canada. I live close to Toronto.
Yeah.
A mom of one, and I had her February of 2019. And I think because I went through a little bit of a hardship with her when she was born, and even before, I just started realizing my health is number one, and nothing comes more than your health. Health is wealth. And I had gestational diabetes with her. Maybe 6 months after, they told me, Cristina, you have to watch it because you're close to getting type 2 diabetes. Yeah. And then what happened was I tried my hardest just on my own doing intermittent fasting. I wasn't well educated on it, so I wasn't doing it properly. I was still eating everything that I wanted to eat. And then I decided, you know what, this is my time. My doctor called me to do blood work, came back, I do have type 2 diabetes. Which I don't want to say I have it because I know I'm going to reverse it.
Yeah.
And that's what pushed me to join Beachbody, to become a coach.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping that with my story, I'll be able to inspire others in the process, and to let them know that you're not the only one that's going through this. There's others out there, and I want to help you.
Yeah, because one of the things when I first started intermittent fasting myself, I was not doing it myself so good. I was messing up a lot, and I think that when you start having the right information, little by little, you kind of sort of like, okay, I start to get in this, whole thing about skipping meals and understanding your body, especially if you have type 2 diabetes. I was pre-diabetic myself, and so I know that kind of sort of part. I didn't understand it at the beginning because, we're talking about 10 years ago. We're talking about 2010 when I first started my journey. Same thing with Beachbody. I decided to purchase the Insanity workout through the infomercial because I saw people were doing it, and I thought it was interesting because I didn't think that a workout at home was gonna make a difference for my body, for my health, and so what was it? What would catch you eye when you first started the workouts with Beachbody? What is it that you brought you into it?
Oh, just I was working out at a gym prior to COVID.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and I was just like, no, I just love moving my body every day. I just know that it's so good for mental health.
Yeah.
And then I was probably maybe 2 months of not working out, and I was just feeling really low, feeling really down on myself. And I said, no, I have to get into something. I have to start working out. And then I met Carly, which was my coach from
Yeah.
Beachbody, and just watching everybody in the team, I was just like, no, I have to jump on this wagon, because if there's people like me that are doing it, I can do it as well.
Yeah.
So I started with 21 Day Fix, and it's been the best thing since then. Like every day is just, I feel stronger. I'm just getting better.
So, so basically, it's like there's no excuse. You're like, there's no excuse. It's only 21 days. It is because it takes 21 days to break a habit. That's why you last 21 days. I love the workout. I had done it myself. I think I had done it quite a few times. And it's just the fact that they have a modifier, and they have, you know, everybody, they have all different type of people on the program. They kind of sort of like, okay, you know what, I can modify as much as I want on that particular workout. So so type 2 diabetes, have you ever crossed your mind that you were like, man, I'm type 2 diabetes? It's something that,
No, so what happened was I've been working with a naturopath doctor and my own family doctor.
yeah,
And it's crazy, but so my naturopath actually looked into it deeper and said, my body's very high on insulin resistance.
yeah,
That's what brought me to doing intermittent fasting. When my doctor told me, I said, no, do not say the word. Do not say that you're diagnosing me. I don't want to be diagnosed. And she
yeah,
said, Cristina, you're there. I said, no, I'm not. Don't diagnose me. I'm not going to accept it, because
yeah,
I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to get better. And the next time I do my blood work, I'm hoping that my numbers are even a slight difference in the right way. I would be happy.
yeah. So what is the window? What is the window of eating that you have now that you're doing intermittent fasting? How is that working out for you so far?
Oh, I absolutely love it. My husband is one meal a day. He actually has been doing it for 2 years now, and he's a vegan.
Yeah,
So it's even watching him doing it, I was like, at first I was like, no, this is not possible. You can't go without eating. But yes, my window my window to eat is between 12 and 8.
yeah,
Some days like today I'll go 1 to 9, or maybe even 2 to 10.
yeah,
I try to stay 12 to 8.
yeah,
Even 11 to 7, even if I start eating at 12 and I finish at 7, I prefer that, because I realize when you don't eat like late at night, right before you go to sleep, you feel so much better in the morning.
yeah.
Um,
That's actually true.
at first, even now, people are saying to me, Cristina, how do you do it? How do you not have breakfast in the morning? I'm like, you just have to realize, so if you start every day at 9 o'clock, your body knows, hey, Cristina, you got to put something in your body. It's 9 o'clock. Every day, I tell people, just push it. Say, push it to 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
Have that hour that you feel hungry, then eat at 10. The next day, try to push it, a couple of days, try to push it to 11.
yeah,
It's your body just trying to say, feed me, but really, you're not hungry, like you don't need it.
yeah,
And then you start, as you go on, you just start realizing that, no, like, I don't need to eat. I
yeah,
feel better without eating. I actually feel, in the morning, throughout the whole day, I just feel very energized. I don't feel blah. Like if I were to start eating in the morning, sometimes around 3 p.m., I get that tiredness, sluggish feel, where now
yeah,
I don't have that. I just feel like I have a lot more energy. I did do a 24-hour fast recently.
yeah, yeah,
It wasn't kind of by choice, but I ended up pushing it to 24 hours because I stopped eating at 5:30 p.m.
yeah,
The next day, it was around 2 p.m., and I was with my daughter, so I was like, oh my God, it's 2 p.m., I didn't eat. Let me push it to 5:30, because then I'll reach
yeah,
24 hours. And that was
yeah,
the best thing I've ever done. Like, I felt a huge improvement just by even just doing it for one day.
yeah. And it is. I myself was very skeptical of doing intermittent fasting at the beginning. I remember because no, number one, I'm instructor. I'm a trainer. I've been in the fitness industry since 2006. So in my mind, I was thinking, you know, if I don't eat, I'm gonna lose muscle mass. I am going to starve myself. But there's a huge difference between starvation and fasting. And that's one of the things I you know, once I started jumping into to understanding this whole process, was that there's a difference between, you know, starvation and fasting. And so no, you're not going to lose muscle mass just because you didn't eat, for 24 hours, no, you're not gonna die, because you're just, you're literally you're reducing all the amount of insulin, a store of glycogen and body fat that is getting down to be much more self-efficient. But that's basically what I look at it. I look at it as much more being self-efficient, and knowing that the fact that, hey, I don't feel sluggish, I don't feel tired, I have a mental clarity. What do you notice now that you have done these 24 hours of fasting for yourself? What do you notice the most?
That I could do it again. Like, it's
You,
not that hard.
it's
It's
not that
really
hard.
not that hard.
Yeah,
But what I suggest, what I tell someone to go right to a 24-hour fast, and they have never done intermittent fasting, no.
yeah,
Just because I feel that the last 3 hours for me, when closer to 24 hours, was really hard. I did
yeah.
feel lightheaded. I thought
Hmm.
I was going to pass out, but what I did was I just drank water nonstop.
Yeah. No, it does. This is one of the things too. I was like, oh, I need to have either green tea or either have well, I try not to drink coffee past 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's something I just now, too much of the coffee. Sometimes it's not as good as you might think, but I believe that, mineral water, and so is having that green tea, makes a huge difference. What do you thought when you first started the process of the workouts and intermittent fast, integrating it both? How do you feel now that you have, okay, I can do a 30-minute workout. Now I have this tool, which is fasting. How does that integrating now more to your lifestyle?
Well, to be honest, because I'm trying to reverse the diabetes part, um, I love it just because. So if I fast until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I work out. I try to work out during the fasting time,
Hmm.
and I notice a huge difference. So in the morning, let's just say my numbers can be like 9.8, but
Hmm.
then I work out, my number will go straight down to 5.9, 6.2. So
Yeah.
you can tell a difference by measuring my sugar levels. That
Yeah.
it's just working out is just so good along with fasting.
Yes, and this is one of the things I'll tell a lot of people, especially brand new people. I said, look, what are you doing is let your body do the work that it's supposed to do. Because I used to think, you got to eat. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day because you need that energy. And so that was sold to me when I became a trainer, when I was in the fitness industry since 2006. Like I said, I was kind of sort of like, yeah, you got to eat because you need that energy. But in reality, you have a stored energy in your body that can be utilized easily, And so, sorry guys for the dog is barking. So the thing about it is that we get so consumed by advertisement. We can very quick. We thinking, oh yeah, we are supposed to have that, that breakfast because that's what is. Because I need the energy. But in reality, what you're doing is that when you eat that breakfast in the morning, you're spiking insulin, and you stop the process where your body's supposed to be more self-reliable, and be able to kind of sort of like burn that excess amount of glycogen that's just being stored in your body. So now that you're doing this process, um, and I know that you mentioned something about the fact that you couldn't just continue doing what you were doing before. So what was that like for you, that you say, what, I need to better this whole lifestyle for myself, because obviously type 2 diabetes is something that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, so my journey is, since I was little, I've always been a little bit on the overweight side.
Hmm.
And I've always, and people that are close to me know that I've struggled with losing weight for a long period of time in my life.
Yeah.
I've been working out steady, like, not steady, sorry, on and off for quite a few, like maybe good 15 years, maybe 20 years, just trying to work out, get my body moving. Um, but I was never seeing like the weight loss aspect of it, where I got pregnant with my daughter. I had a little situation that happened with her. And then after having her and bringing her home, um, I just keep looking at her and I said, I need to do something. I can't, if I'm going to continue with this, especially now that I got told I have diabetes, I want to live for my daughter. I don't want her to like grow up without a mother. Right. So
Yeah.
that's my main thing is I need to do this for my daughter and for my family. I want to be there for them when they're older, for her when she's older, and hopefully have a second child. But I don't want to, like, pretty much I don't want to die young.
Well,
And
yeah.
I don't want something that I can potentially control be the reason. So I know that diabetes is reversible.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work my ass off and do what I have to do now to make sure that that happens.
How's your sleep now? Have you seen a difference now of your sleep patterns? Because I know one of the things that we talk about on the community is that sleep is essential for losing weight.
Yeah, so every day I set a schedule that I'm in bed 11 o'clock, usually until when my daughter gets up. So 7 o'clock is my time to get up.
Okay, so you have it those 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Then the normal. What
Which
I
I'm,
was.
I'm
Go ahead.
trying to get into the habit of waking up like at 6 o'clock so I can work out before she wakes up, which would be so much better for me.
That's part of the process. That's one
Yeah.
of the things that I tell a lot of people is like, look, it's not gonna be like 100% everything perfect because I like right now I was supposed to be working out somewhere around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, but I was doing a bunch of little things that I was trying to fix in my social, but then I don't beat myself to it because I know I'm gonna get to be able to get that workout going and actually get it done. How do you feel about the groups? How do you feel about the fact that having a group, the community, has that make a huge difference in the way you see now fitness in regards of being part of the Team Beachbody family?
It's a great community, and I'm so
Yeah.
happy that I'm a part of it. It's just, it gives you that motivation. Like I'm part of so many groups that there's mothers out there that have 4 kids that work a full-time job that come home, they make dinner, and they still find time to work out. So it's
Yeah.
like, and I'm here staying home with my daughter. Some days I used to sit on the couch and do nothing, where I'm like, no, there's no more excuses because look at these people out there that are doing it. They
Yeah.
have so many things going on for them a day. I just find that these groups are very motivating. If I feel like I'm not feeling a workout today, I just message the group or I just put it out there, and they give you that motivation to get up and move your butt
Yeah. No,
because you'll feel so much better afterwards.
of course, and I remember when back in 2010 when I first started doing the group thing, there was not really groups. There was just kind of sort of like people posting. I started finding out people that are connecting through social, and it was funny because when the groups started being created through national wise and international wise, it was interesting because then we kind of sort of feel more, I know this person is doing it, I can do it too, and they're doing it. And one of the things in 2011, I got to meet quite a few people from social media that I never, didn't know in person, and I'm still friends with them. People from New York, people from New Orleans, people from New Jersey. So it is a great thing to be able to connect with people that are doing the same thing. This is what I tell a lot of people. Listen, if you are trying to do something, whether it's fasting, whether it's eating healthy, whether you exercise, you need to be part of a group because it makes a huge difference.
Okay.
And I know that when you see these people working out, you'll be like, man, I'm just start getting young. Even if it is just 10 minutes, at least you're doing something about it. When you are changing all these things that is in your life that like I was sitting down at home, I'm staying at home, and I'm doing nothing. What now compared to October since you started this? How is that comparison now? How do you look at it now compared right now? Now that we are in November and we're going for a new year.
Oh, I don't think I can go a day without working out. And if I haven't been, there's not been a day that I haven't worked out.
Yeah.
But I think I would feel horrible if I didn't because I'm in that mindset. I just know what I feel. I feel great after the workout. I feel great all day. And I just have
Yeah.
this energy that like I never knew I had, that
Yeah.
like it pushes me every day. So a day
Yeah.
where I'm like, oh no, today I just want to relax. Like maybe it's a good day to. No, Christina, you're gonna go do it because you know how good you feel afterwards, and you know the
Yeah.
benefits of it.
Now, how does your daughter? I'm gonna say your little girl. You say, how old is she now?
She'll be 2 in February.
You know, I remember when my son was like 6 years old. He was watching me working out in the living room, and my wife was like, "You gonna clean out the living room, right?" Because you know that was the thing. That was my living room, was my spot, and I was training, working out, and now he's just 60 years old. And I'm gonna tell you something. They're watching you, but you be surprised that they're some way or another they're trying to join you because they see you going through that process. I remember my now, you know, him being 6 years old and watching me going through all these exercise and routines, and now he's like, you know, he actually tries to keep up with me and what I do. So what do you see now of the effect that when you're posting on Instagram and sharing on Facebook? What is the response that you're getting from people?
I find that as I'm going, I'm building trust from others. But there's some like people are coming to me for advice, even though
Yeah.
I'm not. I know I still have a lot of weight to lose,
Yeah.
but it's not only about the weight. It's
Yeah.
it's your mind, like everything that comes into with it. And I just find that sharing my experiences, which I should do more of, um, people relate to me and they start trusting that this is the process and hey, jump along because this is something that's great. And I feel like anybody can do Beachbody. Anybody can
Yeah.
do 30 minutes a day.
Yeah. That's true.
Um,
That's absolutely true. What I was going to tell you is, you know, when I do and try to connect with people, and I like to, more than anything now, I like to read their story, the journey that a person is going through. And what caught my eye too was like, I'm not there yet, but I will be there eventually. So if you can look at the younger self of yourself, what would you tell the younger self of yourself right now?
Not to just live for you and not worry about what others people think about you. Just put yourself on a pedestal and then don't worry about what anybody says. Because there's a lot of people that have that negative effect where they
Hmm.
don't understand what you're doing. But then you have a crowd of people that will cheer you on. Where
Yeah.
I just say, you know what, I'm going to block everything out and just focus on myself. And that's what I would tell my younger self is, Christina, stop listening to what people have to say,
Hmm.
the good or the bad. Like take the good, but don't listen to the bad kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just move on because a lot of my past, like growing up, I got affected by people um, either picking on me, saying things that just are not nice to say to others.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell myself is just, Christina, don't give a shit about what anybody says. Like, sorry.
That's the actual right word, that you can't worry about what other people say.
And you can
And
basically, sorry, that, and I would say you can do what you put your mind to
yeah,
as long as you have a straight path and just go with it. Like just focus on you and that's it. Like I said, just don't try to pay attention to anybody else that's trying to bring you down.
I'm pretty sure your coach is really excited about you. Yeah, because I know as a coach myself and somebody who has been in the business for so long, I know it's exciting to see someone new, you know, and seeing the process and seeing that they're changing. Um, you know, there is a lot of stay-home moms, especially this pandemic. This year has been a great thing for Beachbody because a lot of gyms are being closed.
Mhm.
A lot of places that you think that you want to go and work out, you can't because and this interaction with having a trainer right in front of you to be is being the best interaction. Out of all the trainers, which one you like the most? That I'm pretty sure I know who you like, but I'm pretty sure I want to tell out of all the trainers that you see in Beachbody on demand, which one you like the most?
So I can't, I might be a little bit biased because I haven't tested out all the workout programs yet.
Yeah.
But there's one that I would like to try after, um, but Autumn.
Yes.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She gets me going, like, and I love it. I would like to try one of Shanti's workouts. Like I
Yeah.
just seen some previews, and I'm like, ah, this guy kicks ass. Like,
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He is very motivational. Just the thing as Autumn Calabrese, I think she brings a different flavor to the table when it comes down to workouts, and every trainer is that way. Um, so you were going to the gym. What do you miss more about the gym life versus working out at home?
To be honest, I think it's just the change of atmosphere.
Yeah.
But my husband and I have plans now to finish the basement by the spring and
Yeah.
make a little gym there.
Yeah.
Just because I'm working out, it's a little tiny area, unfinished basement, which is still okay. That just shows that you can work out literally anywhere.
Yeah.
But that would be my only thing, is just the change of atmosphere. So now, because of that, my husband said, no, let's do the basement and let's make it like a gym area. And then you can put up whatever you feel that you're missing from the gym into that room. So
I was going to tell you, your husband. You said you mentioned that your husband is a vegan. So how does that combines your the way you guys are interacting as far as food and it's other? Because I can definitely relate a little bit because my wife, she's allergic to specific food, so I had to be careful sometimes with the way I cook for her. And so how does that interaction in regards of
Oh, so when he first started telling me, first he went vegetarian. No, sorry, pescatarian.
yeah.
And when he was doing all these changes, I said, why? Like, I'm sorry for even saying this, but I would say, like, I would tell him not to, and I pushed him not to do this. And now I say, like, I ask him questions because now I'm like, wow, look at him. He's lost maybe 80 pounds from when he started this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he has the energy like you wouldn't believe. And he's just like a totally different person. Like he's very health, like he's very into his health.
Yeah.
And you can see it. Like he's at that
Yeah.
point right now where I told him today, I'm like, I'm going to talk to somebody. I think you should sit beside me, but unfortunately he had to work. You would love to
Yeah.
speak to him. He's like, but in regard to that, so he became a pescatarian 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 6 months ago. He decided, you know what, Christina, I'm going to cut off fish. I'm going to go vegan. I said, what?
Yeah.
Please don't go vegan, because then it's going to be so hard on me. I cook my steaks. I cook like whatever I make. And like, I can't even share this with you.
Yeah.
But to me, like at first I was like, no, this is going to be so hard. But now I see the effects. And like sometimes when like, so for instance, I used to eat a lot of meat.
Yeah.
Now I cut down huge on all types of meat.
Yeah.
It'll be like maybe 2 to 3 times a week. I'm going to try going vegan with him. But
Yeah.
I'm going to take baby steps to get there. And yeah, so it was hard at first. But then he said, Christina, be open to trying what I'm making you, because it gives you a lot of nutrients that your body needs.
Yeah.
So after a while now, like we've been working together for the past month on our food, our like dinners and lunches.
Yeah.
Sorry, but not even lunches, because he does 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
I used to tell him he was crazy for that too. I would be like, you're working all day and you're not eating. He goes, Christina,
Yeah.
I feel so much energy. As the day goes on, I get more energy. He goes, why would I
Yeah.
do it? So
Yeah. You'll be surprised because you're thinking the body is very self-efficient. Even if you eat one meal and that one meal pertains to having all these nutrients, dense nutrients, and you're drinking water through the day, and how essential is that to combine all these things that at the end of the day, that's all you need. Because as long as you're sleeping good, as long as you have your patterns of eating and you had it down pat. Because I used to like yourself, right? You say, well, I used to eat around 9 p.m., a little too late. Then I started listening to my body a little bit more, and so I realized, okay, this is not what is necessarily what I need to do every single day, but I managed to be able to control, because I follow a circadian rhythm. I'm pretty sure you know about that. And so trying to make sure that I'm not constantly eating super late. So many all the different things that you normally will utilize to be able to have that power to be able to control all of that. So
yeah.
quick question, and I want you to because I wanted to and when I'm asking this question, because one of the things I hear a lot, and it's about self-image, and self-image to me is important. And loving yourself is the most important thing. It's
Mm.
like loving yourself is like, to me, is like, you got to love yourself right now. But what do you say when you hear somebody say, well, I'm overweight, and I don't care what anybody says, I'm overweight, you know I love myself the way I am, but it's okay. I believe that it is a good thing. It's not a bad thing about loving yourself, and but making it okay when your health is at risk. I think you're crossing the line where you know, it's like you're saying to yourself, like, it's okay to put a gun in my head, but it is okay. Um, what do you say about that? I have mixed emotions about it, because I feel like, hey, you know what, the message you're sending is, it is okay to just, hey, I can have any type of disease, but I'm okay with it. So what do you feel about it? I mean, when you hear something like that, that hey, it's okay to just to be away, and I don't care what anybody else says. Okay, but
There's quite a few people, like, and I'm not going to mention names. That's not
yeah,
necessary. But overall, I have some people close to me that say, no, I tried losing weight. I did keto for this much. I lost 20 pounds. I can't lose anymore. But I've been like this my whole life. I'm not going to change.
mm-hmm.
Yes, you can change. You just have to figure out what it is that you're doing now that you've done
Yeah,
before, and see maybe there's a change that you can add to your. Are you working out daily?
mm-hmm.
Are you sticking to a nutritional program? Then I have some people that say, no, I'm happy, like I'm good the way I am. I'm not going to even try.
Yeah,
Some people that are actually close to me, it actually affects me, because I say, no, I get it, you're happy, and it's good to be happy with yourself.
yes,
But think about the diseases that come afterwards. Like
mm-hmm.
you're, especially, it doesn't matter what age. If you're an older person, like say even older than 60, you still have time to start doing better for yourself. You didn't
Yeah,
like wash away your life just because you're 60 now, and you're like, oh
yeah,
no, I can't do anything about. Yes, you can.
yeah,
Um, I always just tell people, like, certain stuff, like working out. Working out is essential. Like, I think
yeah,
it's good for your mind,
yeah,
even for eating wise. Um, I just say, like, start writing. If you, my advice to people is to meal prep. Like
yeah,
a Saturday or Sunday, when you have time, even a Monday, just try to meal prep for the week, just
yeah,
to see if you feel a difference. I always recommend them to do something that they're not doing, to see if they feel a difference and to see if they feel better. But if that's
yeah.
one struggle that I'm going to admit, it's really hard to get somebody to do something when they don't want to do it themselves.
It's true. That's absolutely true. And this is one of the things that I always explain to people is like, look, if you really, really want to do it, you're gonna do it. But if you don't, it's like trying to force a horse trying to drink water, and the horse doesn't want to drink it. So one of the things that I know about in regards to this, and what the reason why I decided to create this segment on the podcast was that the process is because sometimes we don't tend to see a little bit back of the stuff that you have accomplished, and I believe that every little step that you take, I think it's an accomplishment. I believe that what you have done so far is an accomplishment, because we try to get accomplishments for people that have done it for 5, 10 years, and so on and so forth. I myself, I feel like I have accomplished so many things in the past 10 years that I've been doing this. But at the same time, I believe that given the segment and given the space to be able to say, hey, look, come in, but let's talk about it, because it's related to a lot of things that comes along with health. It's not just the view, the look, or the physical aspect to it, but I think it's much more to it, because we have now more than ever, living in the United States for the past 28 years. I think the talk needs to be about self-awareness and mental health. What do you think in Canada now? You live in Canada, and what is the difference that you see as far as countries, and what does to you mental health means to you?
I was looking at a post today. It was just no, I forgot who it was. There was a post that I seen on Instagram today, and it said basically, like, the comparison of, say, 50 years ago, you see a bunch of people on the beach. Where if you get that group of people on the beach now from Canada and the U.S., that's all I can, like, that's who I think it was. You just see the obese rate. Like, people are just physically, like, not where they were 50 years ago, because of because of all the advertisements of all the processed foods that's out there. Basically, it's money, right? Like, they just want to doctors say intermittent fasting is so bad for you. Why? Because they're going to lose out money, because a lot of things are not going to come off the shelves, because why do people,
Yeah.
So mental health for me, and I've struggled with it as well, is just having a clear mind and being positive, and just knowing that any situation that happens, there's always a better side to it. I know I say this to people and they're like, Christina, but this happened. How can you say that everything happens for a reason?
Yeah.
Somehow, I even had stuff that happened to me, and I'm like, well, how's this happening to me? Everything happens for a reason, so why is this happening?
Yeah.
But then it could be years down the road where you're like, oh, that's why that happened, because it brought me to a better me today.
Yeah.
I always tell people mental illness is not a joke.
Yeah.
If you feel any certain way, just talk to somebody. You don't even have to talk to a friend or family. Just get professional help. Let your
Yeah.
doctor know. It's not
Yes.
something to play around with. And I feel like this whole virus, it's not a joke, and I'm not whatsoever saying that it's not real. I just feel like a lot of people are going to get affected.
Mm-hmm.
And I push people now. Like, I even had somebody that messaged me yesterday that they weren't mentally well, and I said, I'm just trying to give advice, and I'm just saying, to me, what helped me through it was working out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, working out every day makes you
Yeah.
just have a clear mind, makes you feel more positive. It just, yeah, like,
It,
I
it,
just
it,
think mental illness is not a joke. That's all.
you find a way to be able to cope with it. Try to have escape from that particular situation that you have in. And the reason being I ask you this question is because I know there's a lot of people that they have found their love for what they love to do by the fact that they are doing something much more interesting, because being stuck at home is probably the worst thing that can happen to anybody, right? And so, like, see, for example, for me, I used to be big time video gaming when I was in my 20s. Now that I'm 44, I get to find out that I love and enjoy to play streaming on video gaming, because back in the days, people used to say, "Oh, you're wasting your time with video gaming," but in reality, what I was trying to cope with a lot of things that I was going through in my 20s that I didn't realize now in my 40s. It was a way to escape. It's a way of being able to entertain yourself, a way to love something that you didn't think you have on yourself. So when I see people thinking that they're wasting their time, in reality, you're not wasting your time. In reality, you're trying to find yourself to cope with things. There's people that do drugs, and they're trying to find and cope with that whole situation, but they don't know how to be able to escape from that whole situation. And the same thing with alcohol, and the same thing we find ourselves with food. We are so caught up with all these things that sometimes we're trying to find escapism. What do you find yourself now besides exercise? What do you find the most now that are you caught up more with Instagram? Are you more caught up with TikTok? Are you caught up with YouTube? What is it that you find yourself besides exercise?
Reading.
Reading.
Motivational, inspirational books. I just love self-development books.
Yeah.
I just find that I've been doing that more now ever so, because I can admit this, but I had a binge eating disorder. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna lie, and I think it was to do with your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
like with mental illness, because I would just find myself binge eating at nighttime, where me and my husband would be watching the movie. Okay, let's have the popcorn. Okay, we finished the popcorn. Okay, let's have like a grilled cheese. Where I'm like, no, that has to stop. That's not going to lead me anywhere. It's just going to bring me down even more. Because then I
Yeah.
would think about it the next morning and I would hate myself for it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I said to my husband, in order to change something, we have to change the scenario. So instead of watching TV, let's sit at the table, let's talk, let's play cards, let's go to bed an hour earlier to read. So just trying to find different
Yeah.
ways of. So
Yeah.
now I'm not fully there, but I'm getting to that point where I can eat my dinner 5:36 and then just have a tea afterwards, which is great. That's where I want to be. I don't want to have to say I'm hungry after dinner and then snack again.
Yeah, because you start finding that the self control of yourself. You're finding that kind of sort of like, I got the power now. You can take that away from me, because that's how I felt that after I started finding intermittent fasting. Self development books are the best thing to do? Which is your favorite book that you like to reading? So that way, anybody who is listening to this, which is your favorite book that you are into right now?
I like all Rhonda Byrne's books. They're just basically manifesting. So Rhonda Byrne, anything by Rhonda Byrne.
Yeah.
The Power of Now is really good. And I just received a new one that I ordered. It's called Wash Your Face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes, I had
they
that one.
recommended that one, Beachbody. So I got that one. I got that one, and I got Brave. No, sorry, I can't remember the other one that I got. But Wash Your Face is. I'm going to start that one. But up
Yes.
until now, I was reading The Power of Now by Rhonda Burns, and
Well,
it's crazy because I can read her. So if there's any time in my life where I feel like, okay, I'm losing that sense of like manifesting and the power of positivity, I relate back to her because she's just like her books are just phenomenal.
yes. And one of the things that I tell about self-development books is that, because I'm not a big reader, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not, but I can listen to anything you want. Like I have self-development books that I listen to. I have, books about fasting, about health and wellness. And that's because, there's no excuse. You try to find excuses not to be able to do something that you're trying to. Um, what do you think was your biggest excuses when it came down to you? What was you think your was like, okay, this is my biggest excuse. That's it. That's what it is.
Sorry, you mean like what
Like,
got me?
yeah, like what got you where you are right now, but then what's your biggest excuse? Like, hey, this is it. I had this is my excuse, and this is what's going to be. Or what do you find out? Because
Of what
one,
actually pushed me in general of how to just
yeah,
get into this life. So I used to, me and my husband, like I said, so we're both, the good thing about us is we're a great team
yeah,
where if he wants to try something, like that's fine. If I want to try something, he's always for me to just try something new. And
yeah,
we used to say back, like we used to always say, why wait until something happens in order for you to change?
yeah,
And sadly, it happened to me where
yeah,
even after having my daughter, being in the hospital with her when I was pregnant because my water broke at 23 weeks, having her and then being in the intensive care for 2 weeks, you would have thought, okay, just having that would change my life and I would want to do better. But it ended up, my emotions got over. I would binge eat. I wasn't on a good path.
yeah,
Until I got diagnosed with diabetes, where
yeah,
now I'm on medication for it. And that's what got me. And I said to my, excuse me, and I said to my husband, look what we always said and look where I'm at. Like I always said, I don't want to get there. To,
yeah,
I don't want to have to change because of a medical reason, and I'm there. So I said, no, I
yeah,
don't want this to be I don't want this. I want this to be the first and the last disease
yeah,
that that the doctors will tell me that there's just something wrong with me. So from there, I just say, no, I have to change this. I have to reverse this diabetes. I have to change myself. If I don't, I'm not going to lead a good life for my daughter and possibly a second. So
yeah. Yeah, that's
that's what got me.
true.
It's just living for my daughter and being there. So there were so many times where I would be with her in the morning and be like, oh my God, I don't even want to play. Like, I don't even want to do nothing. Like, I was just not in a
Yeah,
mental state, not in a good mental state, not at all. And I
yeah.
said, no, this has to change. And I can't do this. My daughter deserves more than this.
Of course, yeah. I think that as parents, when my second son was born, and that's when, November 1st of 2010. That's, if you had seen my before picture, I was like, oh my God, I need to do something about it, because I knew that I was letting myself go too far, and I knew that I needed to, be consistent, because, I was in the fitness industry in 2006, worked, my way to where I was, and then 2010 hit when my son was born, and then I realized, oh my God, I'm 220, I'm pre-diabetic, and high blood pressure. I have a history of, something has to give, right? Something has to give, and so you gotta make sure that you're processing that kind of situation. Um, who's your to-go person that now, besides your coach, that you can say, hey, I need to talk to you, and besides your husband, that you can say, let's talk about these things that that can help us out. Who's your to-go person that you can say that could be somebody that, besides the books that you read, who's your to-go person that you talk to?
Well, my team groups, like like the group that I'm in with a bunch of different other coaches. Like
Yeah.
they're great. Um, you're an awesome person. Like you motivate me, and you always like we always have good conversation when we speak.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't hesitate to come to you. But mostly right now, I would say it's the groups that I'm part of with the other coaches, and then even some challengers in groups
Yeah.
that those are the ones I go to just because I feel like we're in this together. We're a good team. And if I'm going
Yeah.
through something, you might be going through something, probably the same thing. And it's good for people to talk about it.
Yeah. And when it comes down to, you're being yourself a coach, and you're working through that process and you're getting yourself, because I remember when I first started this podcast and I started doing this thing with social media, I used to think, oh my God, who's going to listen to me? But in reality, we have so much to offer that, and I posted this in my other page and I said, what you thought was a waste of your time is bringing me so much value now after 2 years. I did a photo shoot about in 2013. I did a photo shoot, right? And I thought it was my waste of my time. I thought, oh my God, I looking like a model or whatever it case may be at the time, right? And then I realized, wait a second, I need those pictures because I can be able to utilize these in social here. I can utilize on YouTube. I can utilize on my stream page. And I was like, it wasn't a waste of my time because I'm bringing it out in all these pictures that I have and putting it together and videos that I created, 10 years ago. It's bringing me so much value. And you might think, what I'm doing right now, who's going to listen? But in reality, there's a lot of people that we helping out this way. That is interaction. It makes a huge difference. So, Cristina, the question I have for you, if you love a food that you enjoy the most and you cannot say no to it, well, what would that be?
Right now, I know this might change in the future, and I'm so happy that I can look back at this. Short ribs.
Oh my goodness, I love ribs. I'm talking about, like, you're talking about spare ribs.
Yeah, I love them.
Oh yeah, you're not the only one. So we in this family, we eat spare ribs in this family. So I
Spare
know, I
any ribs.
know
So
about.
spare ribs, short ribs, like any type of ribs,
Yeah,
I love them.
yeah. This house, we definitely grill and barbecue those short ribs.
What's your favorite? Like, what
We
would you
have.
say?
I think that the when it comes down to spare ribs will be one of my favorites. But then, when it comes down, I love grilling. I love, creating food for the family, especially when I'm fasting for 20 hours, 22 hours, and I know I'm going to be able to enjoy that meal. Uh, that's one of the things I can say that I
Can
enjoyed. Go ahead.
can I ask you something about intermittent fasting?
Yes, go ahead. Ask.
Are you, just because me and my husband love this as a team, but are you and your wife on the same page, or how do you do it? Like, if she's not doing intermittent fasting with you, how do you do these 72 hours? Like, how do you do it? And do you have any, like, just how do you do it in general? Like,
Well, it was a process, just like you said. When it comes down to intermittent fasting to fasting for 24 hours, it was a process because a lot of people think, oh, 24 hours, how could you do that, right? Well, it takes a time because number one, in my mind, I was a gym rat. How could you not eat, especially after And so I changed little by little because I know it was going to be a process when I start doing it. But I was getting insightful with information that was given by doctors, like, for example, Dr. Jason Funk, Dr. Eric Berg. There's so many people that stepping out to the plane explaining what's happening inside your body when you're not eating and what's happening when you're standing this fast, especially with the family. Yeah, it's tough with the family where on the weekends, I decided that on the weekends, I do not fast these prolonged fastings anymore because I want to enjoy the weekends because my wife works. She's a school teacher. So the weekends is for us. So I try to stay with the intermittent fasting 16A on the weekends. But on the weekdays, like right now, to me, 72 hours is going along very well because the kids are not here. I get to see the kids only for, until pick them up from school, and they can eat, and it doesn't bother me. Uh, but it's a process, kind of sort of, because before the pandemic, I was working 24/7. I was working, and so it was kind of crazy not be able to see my family, but then at the same time I was fasting. So it kind of worked out before the pandemic, but then when the pandemic hit and we got stuck at home, things were a little bit different. It hit me the first 2 weeks of the pandemic, because I knew I was not fasting the way I wanted to, and I was just kind of snacking a lot and stuff like that. But then I went back to the game, and so um, I decided that at least once a month I do 72 hours, and that all depends on the days. Sometimes I can just go straight 24 hours if I wanted to, but I mean, mainly I try to make sure that I let her know that this week before Thanksgiving, I'm doing my 72 hours. But it's just all about communication more than anything. It's all about talking about it and
Right.
kind of explaining the reasons why, because I feel longevity and knowing that it's going to help me out on the long term, because I know there's no shortcuts
Do
to
you ever feel
success.
that? Do you ever feel like in the fast that no, I can't keep going? Like, what pushes you to keep going?
The
Like
For
while you're in
me,
the fast. So right now you're in the 72-hour fast.
yeah. Um,
So if it comes to a point where you're like, oh no, I can't continue. What pushes you? What motivates you to just keep going?
to
Or you don't
me,
have that?
I do have it. For me, it's mainly the longevity effect, because what I'm doing as I try to stay my leanest, try to stay lean, because I'm not 100%. I will say like lean, because I will say I still have some specific amount of visceral fat that I still want to get rid of. But it helps me thinking about the longevity effect that gets from that. Because it's a lot of things that comes along by practicing fasting, that it
Yeah.
has given me the sort of mindset of continue doing at least once a month. I do it. I do the OMAD like your husband does, OMAD, and then 72 hours once a month. But the weekends is with my family, 16A, kind of sort of like 16A on the weekends with them. But the question I have for you is, for anyone who is watching this live broadcast, where can they find you? Instagram, Facebook. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have the links. But which is the best way to contact you?
Right now, is the best way to reach me is Instagram, Health
Yeah.
Inspired by Christina.
Yes.
And feel free to anybody out there watching, listening to this. If you have any questions as a beginner to intermittent fasting, losing weight, gym, if you have diabetes, you want to talk to somebody in regards to how you can reverse it, you can reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to help.
Guys, this is important, because I think that having Christina talking about her own personal process is so essential to help each other out, because I think that we are here united to be able to help a fellow friend, fellow human being who is struggling, and know that you're not alone. That's one thing I just want to say, that when it comes down to exercise, it's not just the exercise part, it's the mental part, it's the knowing that you're getting better and better every single day. That's the most important thing. I want to thank you, Christina, for taking the time. Thank you so much. I know, you gotta take care of the little girl. So, but I want you to give one take that you want to give to the audience. What would that be? Give your 2 cents.
If I had to say anything, I would just say get up and move your body. It just does a huge difference. And I'm not, and you can, Rick, you can say this as well. Move your body half an hour a day. You would feel, in general, just an overall, it's not about weight. You just, your mind, your body, your soul, everything will just love you even more than where you are now. Like,
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Christina. I want to say thank you for everyone who has been popping in into the live stream. Thank you so much. So, if you, once again, I'm going to have the links available on the podcast for anyone who's listening, and for here on Instagram, I'm going to have her link so you guys can be able to contact with Christina. She's a Beachbody coach. She's excited. She's in the process, and I can't wait to see those results. 21-day fix, right? You're doing 21-day fix right now?
Right now, I'm 21-day extreme.
21 days extreme. That's a little
So I
extreme.
promised myself I'm not going to do after pictures or even release any information. I'm going to wait till Christmas Day. So Christmas Day, that's when. That's
I
my next
can't
present.
wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. That's awesome. So thank you so much, Cristina, for
Thank
the
you
time.
so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. So we'll talk to you soon, and peace out for everyone here on Instagram. Bye-bye.
Bye.